Oh, flash crash, baby. Let's go. Crypto, man. Crypto. Never a dull day, is there? We got the latest news on what's going on in the cryptocurrency markets. Taking a look at the charts, the latest metas, Ethereum, Solana, real world. I've got a lot of stuff, guys. We're going to get into that. Answering your questions, second half of the stream. So make sure you stick around for those good times. I appreciate you being here. Shout out to everybody in the chat, guys. What is up? What is up? Nice to see everybody. So let's get it. First and foremost, welcome to your leverage flush. The stock market's basically at all-time highs right now. Gold's been pumping, all that fun kind of stuff. Crypto has not really kept up. Bitcoin, Ethereum kind of stalled out a couple weeks ago, as we were talking about. The big plays over the weekend were everything related to Binance. They had the Aster coin, which went up, gargantuan amounts. A few of the other ecosystem coins started running. A few of the other perp dexes like Avantis started running. But that's kind of been the only game over the last 48, 72 hours. Everything else has kind of been a bit meh. And here we go. Boom. The exchanges can't resist it, man. The whales can't resist it. They always got to take a little taste. That tasty liquidity, baby, and flush the markets. This is the biggest liquidation cascade of the year. As always, every time, man. Gah! Everybody over leverages at the top. Okay? So what happens? I know we had some things that are on sort of the verge breakouts, and they've been rejected since. We're going to cover some of those charts and all that kind of stuff. But just a reminder, don't over leverage, guys. Why are we dumping any bad news? Nothing yet. And that's the interesting thing. Nothing seems to really be going on. Perhaps that's why I think it's probably just a leverage flush. If something really bad was happening, I feel like U.S. futures would have something bad happening. If, I don't know, the Japanese bond market blew up or something, S&P 500 futures would be taking more of a hit than this, okay? They're only down 0.28%, which is essentially nothing. Intraday volatility, this is nothing serious. If we were down 1 or 2% on U.S. futures, I'd say, okay, some shit's happened. Somebody blew up overnight and, Anyway, so far, haven't heard anything particularly about that. Okay, so more than likely, it makes it a leverage flush more specific to the cryptocurrency markets. Now, maybe something has come out that spooked markets that we're just not aware of yet, but that would be my guess right now where we are. Psychedelic shared this one. So much confluence coming in here for a bottom. $1.7 billion in long liquidations in 24 hours. 4 hours RSI hitting severe oversold levels. Last 3 times this marked at least the local bottom. 2 out of 3, it was the actual bottom before new all-time highs. This time is even more bullish as price held the 200-day SMA. I also believe the absolute worst case scenario from here is a double bottom and full send. Yes, those are the vibes we need, dude. Let's go. Bitcoin, of course, has broke this shorter term uptrend here, lost the 20-day and the 50-day with the MACD rolling over. Now, still green, okay? It's not confirmed the bearish crossover. Probably will in the next day or two, but it could easily be one of those situations where we have like here where it's about to confirm and then just rips higher. So let's see if the momentum actually starts building up there. So far, nothing really to worry about in my mind. You can see like back here. You can see like back here, for example, flipping the wrong place. See like back here, for example, you can have those sort of short-term flushes as you see the reversals coming into play, followed by sometimes a short bit of a price spook in the market, but often in an uptrend, prices continue to uptrend. Let's see though. Let's see. Definitely a time of watching for opportunities, okay? This is how it feels when buying works, feeling scary, but we have to look at the macro and evaluate our convictions. Amen to that, Philip. And look, macro, I look at all the macro stuff and still looks good, baby. Still looks real good. Wall Street, don't bull markets all have at least 30% drops? I mean, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Seriously. Do not forget it. This is true. This is true. And we haven't had a 30% pullback on Bitcoin in a long time. I don't think this is the start of it, but, let's watch the charts and see how we go. So far, feels more like a leverage flush than a major sort of shifting of the tides. But if stock markets start pulling back for any kind of significant reason, then crypto is probably going to get slaughtered as usual. Inverted head and shoulders in the making. Guess you'd rather have to draw it like that, wouldn't you? Maybe. I can jive on that, man. Why not? This market has sucked for years. Always opportunities, man. This has been the problem, though, is that the opportunities have been very selective. Broadly speaking, most altcoins have just sucked gargantuan balls, which is not really a fantastic thing, is it? No, you don't really want that in your life. I mean, there's times and places, but it's a different story. Anyway, yeah, the market's had some problems, man, with all these altcoins. You've seen very selective pumps, right? We've had meme coins pumping late last year and AI coins pumping late last year. A lot of AI coins haven't had anything happen in a while. Look at like Render or Tensor and stuff. There's been little moves on them, but they haven't had any big breakout moments and big attention, sucking moments. This week, of course, is perp dexes, and we got a little bit to talk about that in a few minutes. No, I did not get on the Avantis wagon. I might. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it pumps up too far and just, say la vie. But the one thing I will talk about in a few minutes, one thing I don't love about Avantis is currently there's no real use for the token beyond like sort of governance and stuff like that. But anyway, can we just enter the part where we turn 5K into 500K? Dude, I know. Anyway, look, right now, focus, Lark. Right now, Bitcoin has come back down into this box area here, which of course was resistance back here. Now it's not the world's biggest resistance by any means, but hey, so far so good. As long as we can put a daily close, ideally back at the 50-day EMA, which is all the way up $114,000, that would be fantastic. Will that happen? Don't know. But right now, as long as we're sort of staying in this box, probably not too bad. But I don't love we've lost this uptrend here. So maybe this uptrend line, well, it essentially is now irrelevant, to be honest. But as long as we can maintain higher highs, higher lows, and maybe we become something more like, this sort of going on here, that'd be fine too. Let's see though. I did open up Bitcoin long. I'll share that with you in a second, but this is very interesting. By the way, Charles Edwards shared this. ETFs have once again resumed buying more than the daily supply of Bitcoin. Now, you can see what's happened in previous situations when ETFs started buying more than the daily supply of Bitcoin. Look back here in May, for example, right? They started buying shit tons of Bitcoin again. Guess what happened to the price? It ripped higher, okay? Same situation back here in July, ripped higher. Similar situation here, but it's kind of a bit more muted, let's say. And then in late 2024, similar situation, breakout, ripped higher with ETFs piling a bunch of money into Bitcoin. Okay, so there you go. Anyway, currently got a Bitcoin long open, which is $4 in unrealized losses. Great, fantastic. We'll see. Not the best entry price at 112,800, but let's see. Let's see how it goes. So far, we're in a pretty tight stop loss on this one, to be honest. So we'll see what ends up happening with this in the end. But hey, you know what? Screw it. Feels like time to bid. If you're not going to bid now, well, then when the hell are you going to bid anyway? Obviously, we round tripped a lot of unrealized profits on our Pengu trade, but I still think the chart looks pretty good. We'll talk about that in a minute. And our Solana trade's down 25% from its recent highs, but I still think we are gearing up for a major run here. In fact, I think the Solana chart looks pretty tasty. I'll cover that for you here in a minute as well. First, VAR Rifleman, anytime we get over the 4 trillion market cap, within a few days, we pull back under 4. The exchanges, market makers, and whales just keep rinsing and repeating. They do, but they won't be able to do it forever, man. They do. It's crazy. I was thinking about that. I was looking at the CoinGecko earlier. I was like, damn, they got us at 4 trillion again. Anyway, bastards. Guys, if you want to trade crypto coins, you need a good place to do that. The question is, will you start taking your trading seriously and use an exchange that gives you all the goods, no KYC, no VPN, and great sign-up deals? Check it out. So you want to use the link right down below here. You go straight to VIP level 3 for a trial. It's 30% off your fees. You're going to get a $400 deposit bonus. So, deposit $2,000, get $400 back, which is crazy trading bonuses. And we're giving away $1,000 every live stream, which is today. So again, link down below if you want to get all the prizes I just mentioned, plus be in for the daily live stream giveaways. Well, you need to be signed up. Okay. So today we have got 1,539 people on the giveaway list. Okay. Who's going to be the winners today? Let's ask Grok. Grok, who's it going to be, man? Grok is thinking. Elon buy more Nvidia chips. Here we go. 404 and 34. I love it. Again, looks like for the first day, man. Straight back, dude's winning. That's awesome. 404 and 34. Okay. We got to go right back up here. 404 and 34. I guess I should use this thing over here, shouldn't I? 404 and 30. Let's do 34 first. Here's 34 here. Look at this. This dude put in 327 bucks. Guess what? 500 bucks coming your way, man. Love it. Beautiful. There we go. So that's user ID 486-218-141. Of course, preserving privacy, but not sharing email addresses. So you have to check that. It's manually done. So within the next 24 hours, the team will put it in there for you. And you have to go claim it to my rewards center. Okay. So it's 34 and 404. Oh, look at this dude. Look at this dude. Dude, put in $33. You got 500 bucks back. Congratulations. Let's go. Michael Bailey over on Facebook. What is up, dude? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. There are people watching on Facebook too. Guys, awesome. Congratulations to today's winner. Come back tomorrow. We're going to give away another $1,000. Awesome stuff. Okay, continuing. Stats shared this. Generally not sure why everyone's so scared of the cycle. Last cycle, we had bigger flushes to the point that you thought was over. Oh, yeah. I mean, look, this cycle's been frustrating for a variety of reasons. But previous cycles, man, they're way scarier. Way more crazy shit happened. So far, it's been relatively tame, to be honest. John Wang here. I'm hard to believe that anyone is always 2 to 3 good decisions away from an exponential that makes the rest of their career look like a footnote. Look back on the past 2 to 3 years, you'll be surprised by how many people 10x outperformed expectations out of nowhere and never underestimate. All it takes is one trade, baby. All it takes is one trade. Love it. ETH, man, look at this chart. Look at this chart, guys. Holy shit. What did ETH just do? We just came back down to tap the exact level of the lows on the 20th and 19th of August. Whoa, that's crazy. That is crazy, man. Looking forward to Cardano. Lark kicking Cardano enough to lift my spirits. Reminds me of that Simpsons meme where it's like, stop, he's dead already. Maybe we just, we'll leave it alone for today. So it's a red day in the market. Let's have some decency, okay? ETH in a very interesting position here. Now, look, if we can close the day back above the 50-day EMA in particular, which is around $4,270 right now, I think that looks pretty good, to be honest, okay? Let's see. Anyway, you can see the RSI, the MACD has been in a downtrend here for a little while since we hit the sort of the top prices here with a bearish divergence. And since then, we've basically been in a nice downtrend here. Paint that on here so you can see what I'm talking about here with the bearish divergence of the MACD. Anyway, the higher price but a lower MACD coming in. So, but the good news is that we've basically seen the whole move come back down and we're close to the zero line. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to see the price drop dramatically. I mean, look how much the MACD dropped here where the price literally just went sideways. We saw most of the MACD drawdown in that time. So I just want you to know, with the MACD looking for a potential reset in the next few days, it doesn't mean that the price has to go down dramatically. The price just needs to consolidate, okay? Okay. Now, this is an interesting spot to maybe look for a long position, whether you caught the move down to 40.70 or you're trying to go long here with a stop loss just down here under this orange line. Probably not a bad risk reward position to be in. Still holding my Ethereum longs for much lower. I think I might cut my XRP long just to free up the capital and do something else with it. But I don't know. Still in profits, so screw it. Anyway. CZs, YZI, YZI. Easy Labs doubles down on Athena. Good. Athena, 60 cents. Man, that is a nice pullback, isn't it? I haven't actually entered anything in this yet, but man, starting to look juicy, isn't it? Look at that. 35%. Now, back here, remember I was saying, you know what? Now's not the time to go long, and now's not the time to necessarily rush into a position. This is all the big news happening. Everybody's super excited. It's the new paradigm of money, blah, blah, blah. Well, look at it now. Markets do this. There's big flushes. Opportunities arise all the time. Now we've got the MACD under the zero line. So this is actually, when it does reverse, will be a more powerful signal coming in, which is a good thing. Okay? Still thinking about entering position in that as interesting stablecoin exposure. I know we now have this, I think it's based on BSC. It's called STBL. It's one founded by one of the former co-founders of Tether. And they've got a partnership with Franklin Templeton, who's issuing like $100 million. I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting. We kind of, I think it's one of those ones where it's like 5% of the coins are circulating currently, with 95% of tokens still to be dumped. So, I mean, maybe it's the next big thing, but interest rate cuts are coming into it, and they're going to be backed by treasuries and stuff like that. Whereas Ethena is a crypto native coin bought by using sort of Ethereum trading in the background. Very simplistic view of it, but okay. Anyway, so they're not dependent on rates, is what I'm trying to say. So it could be an interesting play, especially as they start cutting rates. Anyway, continuing. Ondo Finance. Ondo TVL is going parabolic and no one is paying attention. $1.65 billion. Let's go. Don't have a position, but interesting. Someone's talking about Clearpool. Another one. We'll take a look. We'll take chart requests here in a few minutes. So bring those questions back. But anyway, Ondo Finance here looking interesting. Week one, $100 million plus TVL. Ondo Global Markets is now the largest platform for tokenized stocks and ETFs. Yo, what is up? What is up? Ondo's literally going to bring trillions on chain, aren't they? Gosh darn. Currently, the thing I don't like about Ondo is really just governance token. So governance tokens can do well, but I generally don't love governance tokens. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, let's see. But so far, it's a very interesting spot. You can see this, the MACD right here. Nice downtrend. Got up to retest the downtrend line the other day. When the MACD breaks out here, it is going to move super effing hard, man. It's going to move super hard when it does finally have a proper breakout. Hasn't happened yet. That being said, chart looks decent. You know, like a lot of other coins, if these big extended red wicks down, as long as we can recover the key EMAs sometime pretty soon. Interesting, let's say, potentially oversold today, but stats are looking really good. Unfortunately, it doesn't capture a lot of value as a token holder, but sometimes narrative enough can be what pumps. Let me just refresh this here and see what the current price is. It kind of lags on my computer. $1.55 for Aster. Oh boy. Oh boy. My buddy told me about it back here at 17, 18 cents. Oh, those are good times. Good times. Anyway. To be fair, I was like 6:30. I was having dinner. By the time I saw it at 8:30, it was kind of already up to like here, like 30-cent range. Like, you know, we'll look into it in the morning. It's fine. It's late here, you know. Buy some rope. Anyway, no, jokes aside, you know, and then by the time I woke up the next day, it was already up here to 70 cents. And of course, I didn't buy the pullback to 52 cents because I don't know, I was doing something else. Nicotine is awesome. The problem is the cigarette. That's right. That's right, Sue. I agree. Anyway, and then, of course, when this epic run over the weekend, everybody calling it the new paradigm of money, you know, CZ is going to climb it up to, you know, quadrillions, whatever. I think the fully diluted valuation at $2 was like $30 billion or something like that, because it got a very low float right now. Okay. So look, probably if you missed out on the initial run, obviously down to the $1.26, it's probably interesting. It did come down for basically a very nice clean retest down at these levels here. We don't have a lot to work on in terms of, these are 1 hour charts, by the way. We don't have a lot to work on in terms of price history here. This is such a new coin, formerly Apollo X protocol. But anyway, you can see here, we did come down to this nice area of price support, bounced off of it. So let's see if that can actually start grinding back up. I think the risk reward for Aster starts changing. I know you've seen a lot of people going like absolutely, you know, bonkers. Like, hey, you know, I ported $1 million in and I made 3 or whatever. Like, yeah, you'll be able to size into this pretty well, but this is when it's fine. Get a 2 or 3x in a few days. That's great, right? But just keep in mind, right? You don't have to throw millions of dollars at something in order to make money. And it probably still goes up quite a bit from here. I think they need to bring in the token burns in order for this to really start taking off. Just CZ tweeting about it alone can definitely send it to billions. Anyway, he just said he has no exposure to Ondo. Yeah, I do not. If you ever want to see my full portfolio, by the way, it's down below in the description and the pinned comment over on tweet. All my current holdings, we update it every Saturday. And a risk savings. Investing in crypto is risky. You can lose all your money. And charts like this might make you think that it's easy to make money in crypto. It can be sometimes, but it's also easy to lose all your damn money very quickly too, okay? Just keep that in mind. Never invest more than you can afford to lose. Past performance is not equate to future returns. Okay, there you go. Continuing. Packs of cigarettes are $12 plus the tax, man. Gosh darn. That's expensive. You know, back in New Zealand, not that I smoked all the time, but I'd buy a pack of cigarettes every once in a while. Damn, they are expensive. And it's like, I don't know. Shit, must have been like 35, 40 bucks. New Zealand, which is like probably 25 US or something like that. That's over $1 a cigarette, man. Or $2, you know, New Zealand for a cigarette. Anyway, things I shouldn't know the answers to. Continuing. A lot of people with the big move on Aster, which of course the Binance Smart Chain coin. I still don't have any exposure to Aster, by the way. Just going to cope and watch it go higher. People now looking for the betas. Cake, of course, getting a lot of attention. If you weren't back around in 2020, man, Cake was big, man. It went on like, I don't know, 100x run or some crap like that. Anyway, currently chart's looking very interesting. Big fat triangle forming up here. Came back up to tap this right here. Break out of that triangle. It's probably going to have a very, very significant price move. We're talking multiple dollar price move here. Let's see. People are looking for all the beta plays right now. I think Avantis has got a lot of bid based on really just sort of the beta play narrative, right? So far looking pretty interesting. Let me draw that like that. So far looking pretty interesting. I do not have position. It's down 35% from its recent highs. Is that right? Where are we at here? Yeah, right. Down 25% in the last 12 hours. Still at a $550 million market cap. You know, I saw somebody shilling Avantis over here. I'm going to share a story again. It's like Gary Vee missing all the great opportunities. Faded it because, well, the tricky part is that the token doesn't really do very much right now. There's no confirmation that there will be buybacks in the future or anything like that. And so when you buy the Avantis token, you're not capturing a lot of value, okay? Anyway. Larky in Wellington, I'm not. I used to live in old windy Wellington, but not anymore. Anyway, we'll see. You know, I think Avantis is an interesting one to keep an eye out on. And it broke out very definitively from this right here for a nice technical move here, about $150 million pump, huh? It's actually pretty interesting how it works out sometimes, isn't it? Anyway, besides the point. If you are super into these perp dexes, you know, sometimes you might just want to check back in a week or two and see how things are going. I'm going to keep Avantis on my watch list here as a potential base ecosystem play. Obviously, keep an eye on Aster too. It probably pumps way higher. I think people are not done with that coin yet. Okay, just FYI. So nothing wrong with getting position in that if you believe, you know, that CZ and the Binance crew are going to, you know, send that thing way up and higher, basically. Solana back at a very, very interesting point. Now, what I don't love is that we're currently trading under the 20-day EMA. Not fantastic, okay? However, I would like to point out a very simple reality. Currently, the price is sitting right at this trend line right here, okay? So this was resistance for a long time, broke out, came back down, currently sitting right there. Also, can we just point out one very, very simple thing here for Solana? We just keep putting in a series of higher lows, okay? And this is just the most recent higher low. So it might look grim if you're looking only at the one-day chart or the few hour charts or 5-minute charts or whatever you guys sometimes love to stare at. But the fact of the matter is this is still just a higher low. Now, if we go under $200, lose a 50-day EMA, these become different questions, right? So far, in fact, I'd just start buying more in that situation, okay? David, something remotely good about Jasmy. Jasmy is the coin that people love saying remotely good things about. Not too good. Not too good. Just remotely good. Okay. And if you know it's remotely good. David, jokes aside, I don't know shit about Jasmy, man. So I can't really tell you anything about it, to be honest. But anyway, I think Solana is in a pretty good place right here. Oh my gosh, for 25 minutes. We got to get to your questions, guys. We're up to a pretty good spot here on Solana. I don't think there's anything particularly dramatic to worry about here. MACD is rolling over, which is not fantastic. Let's see how it goes. If we can get back with a 20-day EMA or at least hold above this top trend line here, I think we are groovy. Pengu. Oh my gosh. Did we really need to retest this downtrend line, Pengu? Apparently we did. Yeah, shit. Stop loss still in place. Hopefully don't get it triggered. Let's see. It's just down below that swing low here. Pump.fun, the revenue has been declining over the last few days. You can see on September 16th, we had, I think, a high water mark of $3.3 million a daily revenue. Today, we have $1.43 million. That's yesterday, $1.43 million, so 50% decline in revenue. But still, even at those kind of levels, it's still rebuying, what is that, $500 million a year in pump being rebought off the market, which is about 33% of the circulating supply. I mean, come on. This thing's a revenue beast. You don't have to like Pump.fun. You don't have to like streams, any of that kind of stuff. I bought more right here. I bought more around 0.006 today. So not a huge amount, but more. Okay. So let's see how it goes. MACD is rolling over, or not, yeah, MACD is rolling over pretty significantly here. So I would not be surprised to see some consolidation after this major breakout, which is fine. But I think it will continue to pump higher. The narrative of its insane revenue will not go away. Okay. Speaking of rug pulls, is there a chance I can recover from my AI16Z loss? Brutal, man. Those things just got super effed up. Anyway. Yeah. Took a small loss on that, but I was in early. Round tripped a lot of profits on it. Anyway. Oh my God. Was arguing with one of those Hex fanboys. They claim you don't talk about RH coins because he doesn't pay KOLs. That's not, no, has nothing to do with it. Has nothing to do with it, guys. We do some promotions for different products, services, and sometimes blockchains, right? Those ads are always 110% transparent, and they're a very small portion of the total work that we do here on the channel, okay? You know, I run a business. We've got a newsletter. We do affiliate marketing, stuff like that. Coins, such a ridiculous talking point. No, people don't talk about this coin because it's his coin, okay? I don't want to get into it. Honestly, the fanboys, I just have such little interest in it. But no, it's an absolutely ridiculous claim because he doesn't pay KOLs, okay? I talk about shit tons of coins that nobody pays me to talk about, okay? No one's paying me to talk about Pump. No one's paying me to talk about Solana. No one's paying me to talk about Aster or Avantis or Ethena or Ondo or dozens of other coins we cover on this channel. I don't talk about these things. I think they're a steaming fucking pile of dog shit. That's the point. Anyway, you guys stop asking. I don't need all the abuse that's going to come from the fanboys. Okay. Anyway, already had almost 10 months of BS pump at market makers. Yeah, the market makers, man, they make money. That's what they do. Not taking that bait. Not taking that bait, B Creed. I see you, man. Are you still sure altcoin season is coming? Labor and macro looks cooked. I mean, labor markets are not doing fantastic right now. This is true. However, to say macro looks cooked is not a correct assumption either. US GDP is predicted to grow by about 3.4% in the next quarter. That's hardly saying the macro is cooked. The DXY is down, which is a good thing for risk assets. Rates are being cut, which is a good thing for risk assets. Rates being cut within 1% of a stock market at an all-time high has 100% of the time indicated that the stock market will be at least 15% higher in the next 12 months. Now, it doesn't mean it goes up in a straight line. And of course, past performance is not at equal future returns. But the big problem right now is, yes, weakness in the labor markets, okay, which rate cuts are going to help. We need more rate cuts. We need them sooner, but we're heading in the right direction, okay? Plus, AI unemployment reality is it's here, okay? Did you mention Sun? I did not mention Sun, but man, you got to give it to Justin Sun. That dude, almost nobody plays the game better than Justin Sun. The amount of just money and influence and anyway, I'm not a Tron fan. I'm not on Tron. I don't really think about or care about Tron. But goddamn, Justin Sun, man, just a player, absolute player in these markets. It's crazy. Thanks, Steve. Oh, let's go, Daniel. Boom. Rolled my Aptos and AVAX into Avantis late last week. Seems to be my best play so far this year. Dude, yes, yes, yes. Yes, Daniel. I love it. Honestly, I have no idea why I'm still holding these bags. I'm thinking about cutting all those things for potentially Ethena, maybe one of these perp dex plays. We'll see. I don't know. Again, I still have not done that. I don't know what the hell stop me. I want to be right. This is the thing. And I know the thing, Lark, come on. Come on. Do you want to be right or do you want to make money? Damn it. Can't I do both? Can't I be right and make money? Fuck's sake. Anyway, apparently not. Apparently I need to be wrong on those coins and be right on another coin to make money. Been many such occasions. I keep holding it. Anyway, that is hilarious. And useful. It's got the red lights going, man. It's one of those hair growth hats. I want to get the full bed, though. As next month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, do you think meme coins around breasts can pump? Tick coin to the moon. I mean, probably not, realistically. It's kind of, I don't know, to an extent depressing. You know, any boob-related coins, if they do pump, it's not like a single damn penny that goes back to breast cancer research or anything like that. Anyway. Sun probably going to print a serious candle today. Get it, brother. Get it. MYX chart. You know, I don't even know, man. It's had such a crazy scam pump. I don't even know what are you going to see in a chart like that, to be honest. Just I'm staying away from it, to be honest. What are the charts generally going to look like near the top? Well, there's a lot of different things that come into play. You know, you can look at daily RSIs and you know, 90 plus zone. You can look at weekly RSI and the 80, 90 plus zone as some simple things. And look, the question whether you get a blow off top or a rounded top, hard to say, right? You lose the uptrend, stuff like that. There's a lot of different things that sort of come into play. And that's chart wise, right? You also need to bring in social sentiment factors, Coinbase app and stuff like this and other stuff. But yeah, don't worry. We'll be sharing lots of updates as we go through. But you do get paid to talk about Cardano. You know, no, actually back in the day, once upon a time, by the way, hydrate, guys. Forgetting to hydrate over here. Holy cow, I'm going to die of thirst. Once upon a time, I was actually a Cardano ambassador. I was so into Cardano back in like 2018, 2019. I was like, yeah, Cardano, man, let's go. Call to the beard, baby. I freed myself from the call to the beard, stopped being a Cardano ambassador. Actually, the reason I stopped being a Cardano ambassador is I just didn't want to have any sort of ambassadorship stuff with anybody. But honestly, not that much has changed for Cardano since then, which is the crazy thing. Yeah, dude, I know exactly how you feel. I've been putting a lot of my money. I actually took a lot of money out of crypto back in March. What was that? April, whenever the tariff shit was going on, and just moved it over to stocks. And a lot of those stocks are doing way better than my crypto has. You know, Robinhood's up like 100%. Tesla's up 40, 50%. I remember I was buying Tesla. Told you guys, bought Tesla like 220 or something like that. It's up almost $400 or something the other day. I don't know. I haven't been watching super close on it, but like, gosh darn, stocks are great, man. Love it. Fantastic. Bought some Rocket Labs. That's up big time. Bought some quantum shit. That's up big time. Stocks are doing way better than crypto, man. It's true. It's true. You know, rename this channel the Stock Lark. We love the crypto game, man. It's good. But man, the amount of investable assets is incredibly small. And really, it's just a game of trading attention and trading the hype, the narrative of the week or the month. And that's where the money kind of comes in. Space Kush, what's up? That is a good looking bit of nug there, man. Let's go. Okay. Can AI XBT recover to its highs? I mean, maybe. I feel like if something was going to go back within the AI agent space, it'd be AI XBT because it's actually one of the probably most useful of the AI agents that came out of the whole December or January AI agent craze. So yeah, can it? Yes. Will it? I don't know. Maybe they need to announce some fucking token buybacks or something for that sucker. Last year, tits pumped 4,800x. Oh yeah. Top 5 stocks to buy. This is not a stock advice channel. I don't know what stocks you should buy. I have no fucking idea. That's a great question. I buy all kinds of stuff. I'm buying a lot of like tech stuff, right? Like Robinhood, Tesla, stuff like that. A lot of just dividend stocks and stuff, to be honest. Like my New Zealand, so I've got 3 stock portfolios basically. One, well, actually 2. 3 markets anyway, but I've got my New Zealand, Australia stock portfolio, right? It's just New Zealand and Australian stocks, mining companies, utilities, railroads, stuff like that. Boring dividend stocks don't really do very much. Okay. Just sit there and make money. Fine. Check back in 20 years, retire. Sweet. My US stock portfolio, that was all like, Tesla and Robinhood, big tech stuff, right? And I want to get more of that stuff. I'm trying unsuccessfully so far to get some kind of private equity exposure to Aptronic and Figure AI, because man, humanoid robotics can be so big. Anyway. Do you hold gold? I do not hold gold anymore. I had to sell it last year to pay down taxes. Got a pretty big kick in the nuts tax bill when I left New Zealand for Dubai, which is c'est la vie. It's fine, just pay the tax money, but no, I sold the gold back then. Obviously, would have made more holding it for longer. I sold it at great profits. Don't get me wrong. I've been stacking gold for 22 and 2023, and I had stored it at home back in New Zealand. But then when we left, I was like, well, I'll just keep the gold here in New Zealand, and I put it in a vault, and it was, I don't know, what's 1.5% a year. It's pretty big number. Great gold anyway. Storage fees, and so I was, after a while, you know what? Screw it. Got to pay all these storage fees. It's going to add up over like 10 years. It's going to be a lot of money. And use it to pay taxes. So that's what I did. What do you think about Polkadot? No real interest in Polkadot right now, to be honest. It's near a dead coin. No, it's not a dead coin by any means. It just isn't really getting much attention right now. But that's most layer 1 blockchains. It's not a near problem. It's just the layer 1 blockchains that are not Solana, BSC, Ethereum base is not layer 1, but it's layer 2. But you know what I mean. Outside of those very tiny, like think about right now. 90% of what happens in the market is happening on 2 or 3 chains. Well, probably 3 chains take up 90% plus of the total market share. The rest, stuff like Polkadot and stuff, like, man, it's not so far behind. It's crazy. Near's got a lot of users. It's got a lot of stuff going on, so it's good. But I sold my bag. I don't know, just didn't find it to be exciting enough. Wasn't getting the narrative, wasn't getting the hype. People weren't really paying attention to it. So in crypto, man, you just got to trade the attention. You have to trade the, you have to trade what's going on, Okay, where is Lark? Can you help me get a car? Yes, Tony. Yes. It's called a job, man. No, jokes aside. You got to earn it, man. Got to earn it. Get out there, get in the trenches, farm some fucking airdrops, dude. This is the thing. People are like, oh, Lark, I don't have very much money. Good. Go farm a fucking airdrop. Lots of airdrops can have extremely high returns. Okay. Farm an airdrop. Get in the trenches, man. If you got, I don't know, a couple $1,000 to your name, you can't get a car. You got to be trenching, man. You got to be trenching. You got to be locked the fuck in and finding the good opportunities, getting in early on shit. And this is the thing is you might underestimate, but okay, let's say you have $1,000, man. There's opportunities all the time. You can be doing trading. Of course, you need to learn how to trade before you start throwing money in, because that's a pretty quick way to lose your $1,000 as well. And you probably don't want to have the discipline to say, okay, well, I'm going to sit here and make $20, $30, $40, $50 trades and slowly grind my portfolio up. It's not fun, right? But what's what you need to do. Or you could have had an opportunity to get into some of the perp dexes, right? Trade, just, look at the opportunities. You could have turned your $1,000 into $2,000 or $3,000. Then you buy a $2,000 car and still $1,000 left to invest. There's opportunities out there every day, man. Opportunities out there every day. When I did buy gold, I bought physical gold. But these days, you know, like I said, don't hold any gold currently. I actually worry long-term. I worry long-term about the value proposition of gold. Right now, for the next, I don't know, 10 to 20 years, gold's probably interesting. Might even go to $10,000. Be the galactic top of gold forever if that happens. Because once it's worth that much money, guess what? Did you guys know? I've talked about this before, but back in earlier this year, the guys at the big Hadron Collider over in Switzerland, they transmuted just a few atoms of lead into gold. Now, you might think, well, just a few atoms, Lark, but yeah, how long until somebody figures out how to do it? It's proven that it's possible. That's the crazy thing. It's proven that it's possible. And if it's a few atoms, give it 10 years, someone's going to figure out how to make this shit industrially. Just like the diamonds, Jesus. Have you guys seen what's happened to lab-grown diamonds? I mean, yeah, you can still buy real mined diamonds, right? But lab-grown diamonds are just as good. And so the price of diamonds has absolutely collapsed. Diamonds were always a bit of a scam anyway. You know, the big diamond house is buying up all the supply, but that's a different conversation. But because of lab-grown diamonds, prices collapsed. And I think the same is going to happen to gold at some point. Technology will eat gold, unfortunately, at some point. But you know what? Technology is not going to magically transmute this fucking Bitcoin, man. Bitcoin's going to be Bitcoin, baby. 21 million ever. Make sure you got your golden ticket to the moon, baby. Doesn't airdrop require to invest in order to get something back? I mean, look, there's a lot of different ways you can do airdrops. Some are free airdrops just from having like roles in the Discord and shit like that. There's a lot of different things. Usually the free ones are massively overrun, but to get ones that you need to like trade on, for example, I think Avantis did a big airdrop. Hyperliquid did an insanely big airdrop, right? You didn't have to trade a lot. If you had $1,000, you could have gone over, made a few dozen trades, and probably got a shit ton of fucking free money. But people don't want to do that. They don't want to take that sort of gamble on like, well, what if I get an airdrop at some point? And you might get pennies. That's the risk you take. You spend $100 in trading fees, $200 in trading fees. Again, we're talking about this person's $1,000 portfolio, and like you get nothing back. Oh, here's $1 for you, kid. Anyway. Why, Lark, with all your cryptographs and experience, you cannot advise of a potential flash crash like what just happened ahead of time? Well, they're called flash crashes because they come in an instant. You know, basically markets roll over, massive liquidations happen, and you can look at stuff like open interest piling up and stuff like that, but it doesn't tell you exactly when something's going to happen. Okay, doesn't tell you when something's going to happen. Okay, these things happen in the markets. It's all a game of probabilities. Okay, and if you can predict flash crashes, then by all means predict flash crashes. But the thing is when open interest builds up and you start getting a bunch of liquidations built up that a cascade will take out, you don't know when the fire is going to be lit. That's the problem, right? When are the market makers going to move? When are they going to start flushing people out? When are they going to start grabbing that liquidity? It's an unknown game, okay? What do you think? Oh, Momentum Season 2, huh? One of these days, man. One of these days, we're going to do that TG. Gosh darn. Lark, BTC just touched BM support band, bull market support band. Ben Cohen said it happened, and then we'll go to all-time high. Fingers crossed. Nice. Good place to bounce, to be honest. Good place to bounce. So let's go. Holy shit, for 45 minutes. Guys, we're going to finish up there for today. You guys are awesome. As always, appreciate you hanging out. Appreciate your time. And I will see you back tomorrow. We're going to win $1,000. Thank the guys over at BitUnix, and we'll be answering your questions. So come and join the fun. Peace.